So, all those of you who are joining us, we've been talking a little preliminary, but we were talking aviation stuff. But our our man in Covington, Kentucky, that's where you are, right?
Uh, no, Northwest Indiana.
Is it? Why did you used to be there or something? Why
Yeah, I
don't?
grew up right across the river from CVG.
Okay, I thought you were, yeah, in that whole Cincinnati area, but now you're
Yeah,
in Northwest Indiana. Okay.
yep.
Well, you got an interesting problem here. Just sum up what's going on with this lady.
So yeah, it's a small cafe owner here locally. Has around 15 employees, mixture full-time, part-time, and I've been talking to her, building a relationship with her, and felt like I was making progress. And she just posted a video on YouTube or on Facebook Live yesterday, absolutely in tears, begging for her customers to stick with her this summer, because in the month of July, uh, a majority of her employees, and particularly in the kitchen, have demanded time off. And she's been very transparent about being very family focused, and has always made family, make family a priority kind of person, which is great. But she said prior to COVID, the situation was that employees would request time off, but would understand if she wasn't able to give them time off due to other people having time off or whatever. She said since COVID, and particularly in the past couple of years, it has completely switched to where they just demand the time off. It's not even a request anymore. They buy
They
the
inform
tickets.
her, right?
They inform her that they can't work, and she was literally, I mean, literally in tears, um, because she said there are some weeks in July that normally the four-person kitchen is only her because all of her cooks have demanded time off. So, the question I pose to you is how to approach that, how to approach her, how to help with that issue, still learning the business, what what we can do to help.
Well, would it surprise you that I have a few questions first?
Uh, there's no doubt. It
You
would not
said,
surprise me at
I
all.
want to go back to the Facebook video. She did Facebook Live.
Uh-huh.
What was your reaction to it? And I don't mean your personal reaction. What did you post? Did you like it? Did you comment on it? Did you do a sad face? I mean, what was your reaction?
I haven't reacted to it yet because I've been contemplating what the right reaction is. Uh, my my initial um, my initial gut reaction was to make a comment and say something to the effect of, "Hey, as a small business owner, I completely understand, and you know, and get through this, and you're not alone, and people don't understand the challenges," or something along those lines.
I like that. It's nurturing. Even something as simple as, wow, that's really tough to hear that. Hey, I'm going to be in there for breakfast someday this week. I want to hear more. Would that be okay? Elaine or whatever her name is, something like that. Then, yeah, that also. So, have you talked previously about what you do?
She knows generally. We haven't gotten into, specific details. I'd say I've had a discussion with her probably two times previous.
Okay.
And normally you go in there in the morning, and this is kind of where I'm not real sure how to approach this, because normally you go in there in the morning, it's somewhat, I mean, it can be a little bit busy, but she's out walking around because she has the ability to do that, and she's very conversational and talking to people. But I'm worried about, if I go in there, I don't want to go in there and sound like I'm pushing something or trying
No.
to sell her something or, compounding her problem by wanting to talk when I know she's, down so many people and she's running around like a chicken with her head cut off.
Yes, you want to avoid PPS,
Yeah.
premature presentation syndrome.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good good term
Don't
for it.
don't do that. Don't become a show and throw, spray and pay, or a vomiteur, as we call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's if it were me, I would first of all, wait, do you have a choice as to when you can go in, or is there a particular time you have to go?
No, I mean, as long as I'm not flying, the day is generally pretty flexible for me.
Do you know which hours she's less busy and would be more likely to talk to you and not be distracted?
Yeah, I mean, usually early in the morning. I think they open at like 5:30. Um, or, kind of between that breakfast and lunchtime.
Is she all day or just breakfast, lunch?
Breakfast, lunch.
Okay, so 2 p.m. is out of the question. She's closed by
Right.
then, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when it's an all-day restaurant. I've noticed that 2 to 3 hour is the best time to catch them, but not in this case. Yeah, I'd want to get in a situation, and I think I would go all ears, no mouth. Tell me what's going on. And just nod, maybe read it back to her.
Hmm.
So they've just said they're not showing up. What are you going to do? Do you have a plan? Do you want some help? And don't say, I'm not a cook.
Yeah.
I
Right.
won't be picking up a frying pan, but do you have like a professional partner to help you with any of this? And if she says no, then don't jump on it. You just say, oh, okay.
Right.
Well, what would it look like if you did? I mean, what would you want? And then have her like years ago when I first started taking Sandler, there was this guy named Augie Buffa. And he's got a crazy name and he's a crazy guy. Okay. He was a pure D, if you know from the disc profiles, driven,
Yeah.
direct, in your face kind of guy. But he would not, he would just say it. He would say, well, what are you going to do? Stuff actually, I was thinking of one thing he used to say, but it doesn't, I thought it fit, it really doesn't. But his goal is you can't lose what you don't have, right? So don't worry about not losing it. And also, you couldn't handle 100% of the business anyway. Right? If we got 100% of the restaurants in the world, oh
Right.
my gosh, what would we do? So he says, don't try to fix things. And I've always agreed with that. You don't want to fix it. You just want to listen. I've noticed, and have you noticed this, that when you're talking to somebody, if you just convince, if you listen to them and they believe, I'm not going to say convince, if you listen to them and they believe that you understand their problem, they become more trusting, more open, more friendly.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say that's true
And yet,
for
and
sure.
husbands do this all the time. The opposite thing is we try to fix it, right?
You have no idea how many times that conversation's happened in our house.
I don't think you're alone there. Fixing it is not, what's your first name?
Uh, the restaurant owner,
Yeah.
Trish.
Trish. So Trish probably doesn't want to hear you come up with a bunch of solutions, at least not right away. But when
Right.
she's ready, she'll ask you, "Do you have a solution?" And okay, I was going to tell you what Augie was going to say, and I don't know if this is really applies, but he used to do the magic piece of paper thing. He would say, "This is a magic piece of paper. Whatever I put on here, you're going to tell me what you want. Whatever I put on here, you're going to get. Whatever you don't tell me and don't put on here, you won't get it." So you got to tell me what do you want on the magic piece of paper. And he would write it down Now he was selling health insurance, so it was always things like monthly premium, deductibles, co-pays, co-insurance, things like that. But it would be something different, obviously, in Trisha's case.
Right.
But I would ask her, what's the perfect sheet of paper? And then don't say, oh, I could do that. Because one thing, you may not be able to do that.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And we never promise something we can't do, right? We always under promise and over deliver. But you go, he used to go questioning, and he say like, there's a possibility we could do this, but I don't know. I need to go check, get on the computer. I need to go talk to all my suppliers, or in our case, we need to go to the matchmaker and find out and put this out there and see if there is somebody who could do it all. But let's pretend, and this is also like Kathleen, what I call time travel. You know, let's move up to say Thursday or Friday, and I walked in here with a proposal that did all this. And you might actually ask her, like, what would you spend on that? Do you have a budget? You can get all three. You got the pain. You need to get the budget. And I'm pretty sure she's the decision maker.
Oh yeah, she is the owner.
But you can ask her that. So Trish, besides yourself, who else is going to be in on this decision? And she'll say, it's just me. You go, really? I mean, you don't like talk to an accountant or somebody like that, or a lawyer, or a husband, maybe. And just to make sure it confirms, because once you've got those three things, you've got the pain, you got the budget, how much she wants to spend, and then you've got who's going to make the decision. You have the makings of the deal. Because you say, well, let's pretend I come in here Thursday with a proposal that does all this for at or below this number you gave me, which is $500 a month or something like that. And I put it in front of you and your CPA or whoever, if there is another decision maker. And you want to hear the big clothesline? This is a
Yeah.
hard hitting line. What would happen? That's it.
Okay.
Forgive me. Now, what are most people going to say at that point?
Um, I don't know. I would think that most of them are going to say yes, let's do it, or I'll think about it, or
Well, you do get that one. You get to think about it. You also get, well, I probably do it. So what am I hearing there if someone says I'd probably do it?
I
What
don't
are
know.
you hearing there?
Probably not.
Well, there's some doubt,
Yeah, there's some
right?
doubt.
They're leaving themselves a back. There's no commitment. And like Augie would just say, probably means, or when you say probably, there's still something. Is there something we aren't talking about? Is there an elephant in the room that I can't see? Is there
Okay.
some reason you wouldn't go forward? And this is what I hate saying. Well, we'd move forward. That's what I hear from some people saying. We'd move forward with it. And I go, oh, well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And they'd say, well, what are you looking for? I says, before I spend all this time and effort and money finding all this out, uh, I'd like to have a mutual commitment that we're going to work together. I've actually said that before. And some people go, well, I don't know if I want to make a commitment. I went, well, yeah, okay, well, that's fine. Let's back up. What's stopping you from making the commitment? And then you get back into getting more of the truth, finding out what's really going on. But it sounds like I mean, that Facebook live thing, that's a cry for help.
Yeah. And I've never seen anything like it. I'll dig it up and I'll send you a link to it because it's I don't know
Yeah.
if interesting is the right word, but there were several things that she said in that video that I'm like, wow, I would not want to be her when her employees hear this. So I think she's going to have that issue as well.
Well, maybe
Um,
you think she was being a little too emotional, so she's kind of letting the cat out of the bag.
oh, 100%. I mean, she was, I would say emotionally out of control.
So she's going to
It
have to
was
replace her whole workforce anyway.
well, I if I worked for her, I would be like, wait a minute. She just said she said a lot of very nice things about her staff, and she's always when she gets on, she usually does a live 2 or 3 times a week, and she's always super positive about her staff and in encouraging and all that. But she said some things yesterday that made them not look the greatest. So I don't know how that's gonna play out. And
I, I, I think
it was
you
100.
know.
Well, yeah. It,
Well, how's
and
it
it was
going to play out,
100%.
Jason? How's it going to play out?
Yeah, they're all gonna quit. Maybe not everybody, but a lot of them are gonna quit.
They're certainly going to be upset, right?
Correct. Yeah.
You can say 10 nice things, but one bad thing, what do they
Yeah.
concentrate on? The
Oh,
bad
the
thing.
bad thing every time.
Exactly. So that's, first of all, anybody that does a live broadcast like that, you got to be real careful.
Yeah.
Sounds like she just let her emotions get a hold of her. Back when phones first started getting well, first they got texting. Remember that?
Hmm. Yep.
Then the Blackberries came along and you could answer emails. And I
Yep.
noticed that responses started getting really emotional, angry. I'll just use it. I'd send
Yeah.
an email saying, "Hey, I need this, this, and that." And I would get an angry response back. And I realized it was because they were answering it on their BlackBerry. And my dad always said, never put anything on paper that you don't want on the front page of the news.
Yeah.
And I think that applies to texts and emails as well. There's a drafts folder for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you put something when you're emotional or angry or upset, you should put it in the drafts folder. I mean, I've done this so many times, and the next morning I think, oh, thank God I didn't send that.
You and me both.
And then sometimes I've sent it, and the next morning I go, oh, why did I send? You know? But so first of all, that I'm worried about somebody who does that, what kind of client they would be for you. Yes, it sounds good, 15 employees, but it also
Yeah.
sounds like you might have your hands full.
Yeah. And I don't, yeah. And you're right. I mean, good point. Maybe it's not somebody even, necessarily pursue, but I, I also think a lot of her, this may or may not be true, but I also feel like a lot of her stress is probably due to um, trying to be the cook and be the manager and deal with all the administrative stuff. So, and I mean, that's where a PEO could help, correct?
I think this is a great scenario you've just given us to work on today. And Eric and Kathleen and maybe Grace too, if she's preparing for another meeting while she's talking to us. But would you two be willing to role play this with me and Eric, me and Jason? Like the four of us will jump back in and out, taking the different sides. The first side is Trish. And Jason, I want you to start out being Trish because you know her
Okay.
better than any one of us here. I will start out being you. Okay. And the scenario is tomorrow morning, 5:30 or whatever, 5:45, you just walked in and sat down at breakfast, and Trish comes over and says, "Hi, Jason," because she knows who you are, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So she would say hello and your usual or something like that, right?
Yep.
So what would she say? I just came in, I sat down, she comes over, and let's start now. You can just be her.
Hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you for a while.
Well, I've been flying a lot, as you know, and I'm working my other business too, my human resources business. But boy, uh, I saw you yesterday on your Facebook Live or whatever day it was. Just the other day, I was watching your Facebook Live. My gosh, that moved me. Did you come up? I mean, have you come up with any solutions for that?
No, and I don't know what to do because just everybody has requested or everyone has demanded time off, and I can't do it. I can't do everybody's job.
Has there been any backlash?
Some of my kitchen staff is not happy about what I said in the live, but I just care about this place so much, and I get so emotional when I
And it's a
talk
great
about it.
place. I love this place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you so much. I really try, but it's getting so hard.
Well, so they watch your blog too, I guess. They watch your live show.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay. And oh, gosh, that must have been tough the day after.
It was. It wasn't even. So a little bit of context, by the way, stepping out of the role play for a minute,
Okay,
is
sure. We can do that. We can do
she
that.
yeah, she posted it on Monday afternoon, and they are closed on Sunday and Monday. So Tuesday today would have been the first day back,
Okay.
and I consider, or I envision her saying something like, um, they were not happy when they came in this morning, and I had one person that didn't come in because of it.
Yeah, it's a different world, isn't it? Now I'm back into role play.
Yeah,
Yeah, people are they're more self-oriented than I remember as kids, or at least they're more open and honest about it, I guess. Have you come up with any plan to do? I mean, what are you going to do next month when you come in and it's just you?
This month,
I
actually.
July.
Oh,
Oh, wait, yeah, tomorrow's July 1st.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I I really don't know because I'm trying to get through 1 hour at a time, one day at a time, and I can't even think that far ahead.
Kathleen, who do you want to take over for? Who do you want to tap out?
Uh, I guess Jason.
Okay, so you'll be Trish. All right. So, Kathleen, I mean, are there any companies or people out there that could help you? Like, do you have a relationship with an HR provider or a recruiter or somebody or a temp staffing company? Something like that?
No, I do not. I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants right now. I just don't know what I'm gonna do if one of my kitchen staff just up and quits.
Hmm. It basically leaves you hanging yet, and you'll be doing it yourself then? Is that what's going to happen?
Yes.
Are you
No one else to
are
give
you
it to.
capable of that? Can you handle the whole thing?
No, of course not. I'm only one person.
Right. Right. Eric slapped my palm.
I got that was not the answer I was expecting. Um, so what would it help you if we knew somebody who might be able to? Uh, would it help you if we knew somebody who might be able to uh, provide some support?
Before you do that, let's not jump into sales mode right away. And again, that wasn't an open-ended question. Keep them open-ended. So auto role play. Yeah, I like where you're going, but
So,
you say something like, "Are you looking for some help?" Or "What kind of help are you looking for?" How about something like that?
what what kind of help are you looking for?
Well, I'd like to find some uh, experienced cooks for the kitchen. Um, Someone who's had experience with short order cooking and or even a manager who could help. We need some help finding some good people, some loyal people, employees that will work for us.
Have any of the other restaurants around town closed recently in the past, say, month or two?
Oh, that was creative.
I haven't even thought about that. That's an interesting idea.
You know, there's restaurants that I've been going to for years that for whatever reasons end up being closed sometimes. It just happened over the weekend. You know, perhaps that might be a good place to start looking at. Do you have a restaurant that you've gone to when you're not coming to your own or you're looking for ideas?
I'm going to tap
Yeah.
in for you.
Okay.
I'm tapping in for you. Okay. Well, it's interesting you asked that because there's these apps now. There's like one called Shift Pixie. There's these apps where you can find people, tempt people to come in and work at the restaurants. And a friend of mine told me about those, and I've been looking at that. But gosh, I've never used them. There's going to be strangers coming in here. They're going to be people I don't really know. Supposedly, they're going to be familiar with my menu because I have to upload my menu to it. So they will know the menu before they come in. And it's usually for servers, but they're now there's one app that does cooks. And well, gosh, I don't know. I mean, I feel just so overwhelmed right now. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Well, have your friends been successful using those apps?
The one that recommended it to me said they've used it and it was successful, but I don't know them that well. They commented on my Facebook. It was one of the comments said you need to look at these apps to bring in some people. I haven't gone anywhere. Do you do that?
Well, it's kind of helpful advice to do that. That was pretty nice of somebody to put that in there. You know, we do know people who help support companies like yours. If we could provide some names or do a little bit, get a little bit more information, would you like us to help you find that out?
Oh, absolutely. What would you need from me?
Well, we would first of all we would need to have a little bit of a list of what types of people that you're looking for, how many
Cooks.
hours per. Go ahead.
I need cooks. Might need one desk,
Cooks.
one counter person. Do
And
they wait tables, Jason?
Yes.
Fine. I'm probably going to need a server or two to wait tables.
I'm writing.
Okay. Okay. So,
And and so in terms of budget and things like that, how much do these people get paid?
well, we do the standard around here. There's a minimum wage for servers because they get tipped. So there's a tip to minimum wage, and uh, we take care of all that through our payroll system.
So you have a payroll system, so that's good. So what about the cooks?
Uh, they get their hourly. I think it's $15 an hour.
So I can take this down. So obviously, it looks like
You haven't had your morning coffee yet, have you?
no, it's been a little bit of a rough morning.
What question should he be asking right now? Someone tap in for him. You know what he should be asking.
I don't know what he should be asking.
Who are you using for payroll now?
Yeah,
Right?
right.
She just told you she had a payroll system. So now you need to find out more. Isn't that I knew you haven't had your morning coffee yet because your hair is doing you're doing your
Like all over
California
the place.
flop.
So who are you using for your payroll company?
Do you know who they're using, Jason?
I do not.
Okay, well, that obviously at some point in tomorrow's meeting, you're going to want to ask, do you have a payroll system? And if she says something like, well, I use QuickBooks, okay, try not to grimace. But you say like, is that working out well for you? How's that working for you? I would do it like an open way. How's that working for you? Because what you're inviting is her to start talking about it. And if she says, well, it works great, except for, well, once in a while. And then you say, well, tell me more about that. Then we'll just go right into the pain funnel, right? And what we want her to do is basically bleed all over the table for you, tell you what's wrong. And maybe if she had a better system of tracking time off and she had a an employee handbook in place beforehand that said, in order for you to take time off, you need to request it at a certain time in advance? Because it sounds like she got blindsided, right?
Yeah,
Now,
that's the impression.
it's going to be hard to fix that because it's already done,
Yeah,
right?
right.
It's the old barn door after the horse is left, right? But we can prevent it from happening again. I think she's going to need to do some of those temp people to fill in. I mean, I'm fixing problems now, which I shouldn't be doing, but I would be concentrating on your meeting tomorrow on like, well, how can we prevent this from happening again? Do you think there's a way we could put some procedures in place, maybe a policies and procedures section of your employee handbook that describes the the method and the procedures needed to ask for time off and secure it, so many weeks in advance? Would you want that to happen, or how would you want that to happen? Would you want some advance notice, or do you just want them to come in and blindside you again? Or does she
Yeah.
say it happens every July?
Uh, sh she didn't. I don't think it's an annual. The comment she made was it's getting worse. But this seems like this is the first time it's happened where they've all demanded time off in 1 month. But it's not the first time that people have demanded time off.
The one thing I don't want you to do tomorrow, and I think Eric and Kathleen would agree with me here, is overthink it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't overthink it.
You're just there to listen. You don't have it. If you lose it, you didn't have it. Okay. We learn from our mistakes. There will be other situations. You can't go in there saying, I got to get this one.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
don't. But on the
Yeah.
confidence side, though, Jason, we have a ton of people who specialize in restaurants in the database. Like that's all they do. So all these like little issues that come up that you're talking about,
It's
they have
true.
solutions for all of that stuff. Even ways so that if the employer can be a little bit less of a micromanager. Okay, they have it so the employees can swap shifts and everything. It's all done electronically. Everything is
Mhm.
always covered, et cetera, et cetera, and it goes much more smoothly. Servers, cooks, everybody, they all swap in and out, and as long as the manager's good, the stuff is covered. A lot of people tend to like that.
Just made me
So
think of something, Eric. Yes, and don't be afraid to schedule a demo. Like if
Okay.
with one of our providers, ask them like, hey, would you like to demo your system for a restaurant owner? They would love to. They love to do demos. They live for that. But now when you first sit down, remember you need to ask her like, hey, am I not bothering you? Do you have time to talk to me? You remember the old upfront agreement, right? I
Hmm.
want to talk to you about that video. Are you okay with that? And if you don't want to, that's fine. I can come another time. But how much time do you have to sit and chat with me? You got 5, 10 minutes? You know, I would definitely do that and that's the reason you do that upfront thing is to lower the barrier. I don't think you're already in some sort of rapport with her,
Right.
so that's good. But she does, does she know you're in the HR business?
Uh, yes, I said I was starting a new HR focused business.
Okay, so she
It didn't
might
go.
go like, "Oh God, he's here to sell me."
Yeah, yeah. And
You
that's
want
what I
to,
want to avoid.
yeah, you want to lower that. Yeah, we don't want to sell. You just want to
Yeah.
listen. Like, hey, I'm not here to sell you anything, but I'd love to hear what you're for my educational purposes. I'd love to know what you're doing to solve these problems. Something like that. Do you have a minute to talk to me or five? Can we go do 5, 10 minutes or until somebody comes in? One of the things with the restaurants is they'll talk to you until someone comes in, then they're
Right.
gone. Then they come back and you got to start over. But they are, I'm not going to say they're great clients. They're good clients. Oh, and this is a little side thing, and we were talking about this last night, I think, is that Kathleen and I were talking about it. If you get a restaurant you want to let them know, like, and by the way, we're looking for a showcase diner where we can bring our clients to sit and talk. You know, because it was great when we had Sanford Brewing in the Maitland office. We used to take people there for lunch all the time because it's great to say, "Oh yeah, these are clients of ours."
Yeah,
But they liked it too because we brought the business. You know?
sure.
Anyway, that's just a little
What are the
thing to
hours
keep.
of this restaurant?
Hmm?
I think 5:30 to 2.
5:30 to 2. Yeah, so it's a breakfast lunch diner.
Yeah,
I mean, if I were going to talk to her, I would schedule a meeting for like 2:30 or 3.
If she's really busy, you could say like, "Hey, do you have some time after you close where I want to hear more about," and make sure you don't say I want to talk to you. I want to hear more about that video.
Yeah,
That's
you
cool.
definitely want
You
to.
you're gonna have something to tell us about next week. So
yes,
I hope it's a dollar on the wall.
hopefully.
But remember, there's only four outcomes. A client, right? Uh, no, not qualified to be your client, which is the second best outcome, right? Because you don't waste any
Right.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
A clear future where not qualified now, but maybe 6 months from now or sometime future, you want to sit down. I think. And then there's the fourth one, which sounds like it's the worst, but it's actually the best. Is you screwed it up so bad. You made a mistake. So
You
then we come
learned.
back and we all do a lesson learned here and we all learn from it. And that's why I always ask people to share their blunders. We don't have time to make all the mistakes. Speaking of lessons learned, it is now 9. Well, first of all, is there anything else anybody wanted to talk about? Any win or loss? Because again, this is really good because we're talking about how to gain trust. And that's where you're going to be tomorrow is how to gain trust with her and get her to share with you
Yeah.
what's going on. This is really good. Anything from you, Kathleen? Anything you want to bring up?
A lesson learned from a client I'm working with. Just to go with the flow, and sometimes you have to get out of your own system and say, hey, what's best for the client? What can I
Oh,
do to help the problem
that is our system.
along? To
That
help the business owner.
Yeah, that is our system, by the way. So stay in the system, I hope is what you meant. Right? Help the client. Don't sell.
One path that we do focus on is we have to fill out this form in the matchmaker and then, you know,
I
just
hate the paperwork.
just let the system work. But with this client prospect, we had to introduce them to the provider and do a demo.
A provider.
A provider, yes, and do a demo.
The leading provider. I think he likes them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Instead of just going with the system and saying we have to fill out the form first in the matchmaker, then we have to get the loss runs and all this stuff. By that time, we would have lost him. So we stepped out of that procedure and introduced them to the producer, the provider, and then we'll see what happens from there. But I think he's building a rapport with them. They did a demo of their system for the prospective client.
This
That's what I've
concerns me.
learned.
I'm glad you brought this up because I had no idea that we thought that was our system. That's Tim and Kim's system, right? They want the matchmaker filled out first. That's there as a convenience to us. And we're going to follow it if we can, but we're not required. I'm glad you brought that up because that's a misunderstanding. If you think you're required to do that, you do it when you can. The most important thing is building the trust, finding out the truth, being transparent. Okay, that's our system. Yes, the matchmaker is a wonderful thing, but it's a tool. If How many, we did business before we had the matchmaker. We did a lot of business before we had the matchmaker. At times, and you'll get this with experience, you all will, you're going to walk into a place and you're immediately going to have a provider in mind. You're going to say, oh, this fits payroll medics perfectly, or boy, applied business solutions, which is now called HR delivered. HR delivered would be great in here. Or, because, they need a health plan and they only got 8 people. Oh, I'm going to definitely show them HR delivered and maybe decision HR. You'll have some names of people that you've worked with. Now, the matchmaker is a great tool when you have no idea, right? When this is new. But remember, it's just a tool. It's not a straitjacket. I'm glad you brought that up because you're 100% right. You're totally right. There's times it's a good idea. And like I said, Jason, they love to give demos, and a demo doesn't diminish our trustworthiness. Okay, they're glad that we brought them the demo. And if they don't like the demo, it's not on us. It's on the people that did the demo, right? And at the end, you can say, well, if that wasn't what you're looking for, we've got some others you can look at. We're trying to give you the best solution. And I think, yeah, we need to redefine that the matchmaker, it can be expanded to throw some demos in to let people meet the providers first if we want to, and definitely not a straitjacket. Use the matchmaker to the best way that helps us. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to try to make things difficult for Tim and Kim, but we're not going to totally do everything they want us to do either. It's a give and take. I've said enough. How about you, Eric? Anything up?
No, I actually it was an interesting exercise because obviously, excuse me for walking in a few minutes late on it, but she has like a real like HR type problem. It's not like your typical quote unquote payroll problem. However, as the scene unfolded, it looks like some of the people who do the work for us can handle it
Mhm.
because that's what they do. They have systems in place to handle these kinds of problems at restaurants. Like that's all they do is restaurants. They don't do anybody else.
Another good point is we're not the fixers. We're the connectors.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. We're not going to go in. I mean, there are times I've written employee handbooks for people, but that's just because I felt like it. Like Michael Murray at Payroll Medics, he has a very extensive, in-depth, and very DEI compliant employee handbook. If you get in a situation where you want to hand somebody 200 pages that talks all about, no discrimination, and it it's wonderful. It's a good place to start. So anyway, anybody have a takeaway? It's 10 o'clock. Anybody have a takeaway, a lesson they learned today that they're really glad they showed up to hear this? No, John, we didn't learn anything.
Well, I mean, I think for me, it's probably not the answer you're looking for, but I mean, I'd say all of it, right? Because I really didn't know how to. I was actually going to go down there and have breakfast and talk to her last Friday, and I ended up there were some things going on at home. I didn't make it, and then she dropped this live video yesterday, and I'm like, wow, I really don't know what to do with it now.
Well, I want to see the video. I really do.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I yeah, that's sounds great. You two, anything? You just said it, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I learned was we have an issue. Grace, you got something? Go ahead.
Well, not really, but I'm here.
Well, we knew you were there. I know you got your meeting with
No, I don't actually. I was checking my email. I think they canceled it.
oh,
It's
they
like,
canceled it today? Okay.
I don't know. I guess so. Usually I get an email saying they canceled it, but I checked their website and there's nothing scheduled for today. So, yeah.
All right.
Holiday week.
Yes, this is like
Fourth
I
of
guess
July.
it's the 250th. Everybody's just taking this whole week off. You're going to notice that too. It's going to be hard to get a hold of insurance companies and probably PEOs because
Yeah.
Mhm.
I got someone who reached out to me though. I just scheduled a call with them on Friday. So
Oh, great.
yeah, they said they might have an opportunity for me, and it's like, okay,
I'd like to hear
I gotta
that.
like look into who they are again because I forgot.
They want to sell you something.
Yeah, but I mean,
Probably.
maybe it'll be a good thing. Because like they remember me. I've talked to them before, so give it a chance.
Yes. There's nothing really to lose by talking to people. Okay, well, that was great, Grayson. Thank you for that scenario. I love when we get scenarios like this, and of course, we want to get a full report. Take some notes,
Will do.
and we'll be putting it in the prayer chain. Make sure I hope you get really good results
Thanks.
out of it. I remember my dad was sick, and this guy Dale said, "Well, I put him in the prayer chain." I said, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah, that damn thing really works." I laughed so hard. All right, on that positive note,
Oh,
and on
yeah.
that bombshell, we'll call the show over. We'll stop the recording. We'll see you all next week.